Hey guys, how's it going? How's everybody doing today? I'm really excited because we have the big aquascaping contest is going on. So please let me know if the sound and video and audio, that's the sound, is going well. Hold on, let me mute that. Okay. Welcome everybody. We had a lot of entries this year. Alan, Rigel, and I have been talking all week, and we got it all graded. So we happen to know the winners right now, but the other thing that could be determined tonight still and also Alan, welcome to the chat. He's one of the judges, and he has been a member of the channel since it's been a possibility to be a member of the channel. So that is 12 months. I just wanted to say thank you so much, Alan. You have been such a support to this community. Alan has sourced a lot of the prizes. The Emersed aspect was his thought that we include that this year to make it more fun and just so we all learn something. And I learned stuff from your guys' entries, from just ways of doing things. And then, there's a lot, hopefully, that we'll all learn in, ooh, that's what that looks like immersed and whatnot. Now, I should say, it was more of a demand by Alan to make it immersed. Yeah, it's true. But that's okay. I mean, such is life, right? Also, Rachel, thank you so much for the $10 super sticker. I was going to say that anybody who wants to donate some money tonight, that money will be going into a prize pool. Alan and I have also already, we have some signed books, obviously. We have the first 3 places that we mentioned, but we'll probably have more prize categories. We had a couple people come forward and say that they wanted to back a prize for X, Y, or Z, like best tank under 5 gallons or whatever. Now, those people have not come forward to me since then, but if you would like to back a prize and we will select that and award it, then as long as it's not like back the best tank by someone named Alan, then yeah. Secret history living in your aquarium. I'm subscribed, but I don't see a join button. So you have to go out of the live chat, I believe. You have to go out of the live chat, and then there should be a join right next to my face if you're on mobile. It's probably in one of the menu bars, otherwise if not. Or you could just go to the description of the video today, and it's right at the top. It says support the channel for $1.99 a month. And that's how you can ongoingly kind of assure that there's revenue coming in and that I can keep this rolling and keep this my full-time attention and gig. Also, I wanted to let you guys know that we've got a new aquascape I set up. So I've got a video coming out on that, but I took all the immersed stuff, all the stuff that was a tangle in that tank about this thick of immersed growth, and chopped it all off, totally overhauled that aquarium. So to celebrate the end of this epic 4-month, 3.5 month process. So thank you. Also, I want to, thank obviously Rigel and Alan, all of you guys for supporting the channel and for watching and for submitting. About 100 submissions this year, which is crazy for the amount of work that this takes. That is great, especially if you figure that 100 to 200 people watch most of these streams at night. The fact that many of you guys entered or saw the streams later and entered, maybe 1,000 people see each video as an average. It's really cool that we've got such an active community. So on that note, I also want to thank Crystal Castleman because she is doing, she gave Alan essentially a good deal on a signed book. Chris, you figured it out. Welcome to channel membership. Awesome. I wish I could do, like a discount or something. But I feel like $1.99 is pretty accessible. But if I could, I would like discount it for today or something. But in any case, yeah. So I think Alan also wants to do, so we'll thank him again, with his own money. I mean, the books are his own money. Aquatic Arts, who I buy a lot of my critters from, they're also supporting this with gift cards. Now, if the winners happen to be outside the US, because this was a global contest without any discrimination for being outside the US, then we will do cash, and that will be out of our pockets, basically. So, and by our, I mean mine, and with super chat money and stuff like that. And so, yeah. But if we come up with, say, I don't know how much, if we come up with, say $50 tonight in super chats or something, in just small super chats, what I'll try to do is we'll either include it towards the costs of shipping and stuff like that for Alan, or for shipping a book. George Farmer's supposed to, I'm still waiting for the book to arrive from the UK, stuck up in customs, but his signed edition of his book. And then also, you know, anything else, if we give a prize, like Alan wants to give a prize for best cryptocorin, best crypt in an aquarium, which I think is funny. And I think we might do one for, you know, most creative, something like that. So we wanted to definitely reward people in more than just the traditional way. Laura Sutton also, by the way, has been a member for over 11 months now. So thank you so much, Laura. Really appreciate it. Always love your feedback. And I'm just getting these alerts that you've said that. So really cool. You know, the other really cool thing that I'm going to say about this without giving anything away is that the winners and the highest, or let's just say the highest ranked, because it's not just the top 3 winners, but it didn't have to be a ton of money. It didn't have to be huge. It didn't have to have rimless this or that, you know. So we were really impressed by things that people did in patio containers, in rimmed containers, in bowls, and other things like that. So in totes, in shallow tanks. So we were really impressed by that. But you guys will get to see that right now. So let's jump in, because there's a lot to cover. I want you guys so much. I appreciate you guys, and I'm having fun. We had fun going through these and looking at them, and there's feedback for everyone who's in the contest. Now, the only downside or bummer that we had to say is there's quite a few people who submitted an initial photo and then no final photo, or they submitted the same photo again. Things like that, we kind of had to toss out of the winner's circle, but we'll try to still give feedback. That being said, though, most of you did a really good job. So, but I don't know if there's a language barrier there for some people, or if it's just not following instructions that closely. I'm sure I could do some things to make it more clear. So every year we try to make this thing better. And yeah, so let's see here. Before we get into the 100 entries, I'm trying to see more likes on this. Okay. Yeah, Alan, I agree. No show of my show until you show, you know, you like this show. How's that for confusing? We'll call it a limerick. That's not at all what it is, but we'll call it a limerick. All right, let me get this. Let's see if the graphics card and internet melt when I try to load this massive file. Also, Alan set up all of the tech stuff. He is a tech wizard, and I am a plebe. I am worse than a plebe or a noob. I am a salamander when it comes to that. So now we've been spending you know, hype again, still $10 from Alan. Alan, stop giving money. You're already spending so much of your own money. It's too kind of you. Stop it. If I could give you a super chat right now, I would. Jeez. So also we had some other YouTubers in on it. Steven P2003. Aquatics. He did a great video of his entry. So tonight we're going to go through all the entries, and then we'll go through the videos is what we'll do, because some only have a video to describe, and I figured it'll be easy to sit and just enjoy the video. So we'll go through, we've got thumbnail galleries and descriptions of most of them, but some have edited videos that are short. So we'll do that second. I think that'll be the easiest way to do it. Rachel, again, Rachel Games, thank you so much. You've been so great and supportive to the channel too. Thank you. That truly will help for us to get prizes out, especially to the international folks who deserve the praise. Appreciate it. So thank you so much for that $20 super chat. Crazy, crazy town. All right. So are you guys about ready? You guys want to see what everybody entered? Grab your favorite beverage of choice. Mine happens to be a flat Dr. Pepper. I'm still working on the whole Dr. Pepper sponsor me. I want them to set up a soda machine that just does Dr. Pepper. And I want the CO2, the same tank, to do the new 90p long, or 90L. So, yeah. Oh, and someone, your average fish keeper just mentioned that, let's see those ponds. Well, I took out my fish, most of my fish from the ponds. I got a whole lot of rosy barbs and what was the other barb? Cherry barbs, rosy barbs, and they're amber barbs. Not the little African ones, but it's just another name for, I think it's a golden rosy barb, honestly. But yeah, that was really fun. So, all right, let's hop into this. And I don't think you guys probably need to see my face for this. You'd probably just rather see full screen of the show. So let's do that. Let me make sure that I've got my little, so I can still see chat on my phone here, so I can still keep track of what y'all saying. So I can know when you guys say, Alex, is boring, I can speed it up. All right. So we'll bring up the other window. Okay, well, it's small right now. So let's change that around. What's going to happen? Why is it not? Okay. All right. Let's give this a chance. All we are saying is give my formatting a chance. All right. So this is literally Alan's mastery. This is him doing the layout of this website. So we got 99 entries on here, 420 pictures. We're going to not go through everything. I mean, like, you guys don't need to see people's unpacking of their aquarium gear or whatnot necessarily. Oh, you guys can't see my cursor, can you? Oh, wait, you can. It's just delayed. Okay. So first of all, Aaron was the winner of last time, but we didn't have any plan or execution. So we don't know what was going to happen there. Randy Roman, oh, Laura Sutton, boom, boom, boom. We got more super chats contributing to the funds, the fun funds, so we can make more fun happen. You guys like my repetitive words today? They're pretty fun. So thank you so very kindly. Appreciate it, guys. We got Randy with a $20 additional hype, and we've got Laura Sutton with a $4.99 dancing pear. All right, not a dancing bear, mind you, a dancing pear. If we could do dancing bears, I'd probably like that more. All right, so let's chug along here. So the next entry we've got is Adam Oppenheimer, and we have here again a setup, plans, but I mean, and it looks like a fine tank, but it didn't have the final plan. So we're going to skip through those, but there's a few that are of note, and I just have to show you guys because regardless of if they did it before or after, I just want to celebrate some of our watchers. So Ahmed Al Barawani has this 3.3 gallon cube, and look at this thing. It's not up for a win because nothing changed. He just submitted his initial images and no before, no plan. But I mean, he made something that I've seen look really cheesy before, look really natural, look like it should be there. It's just dark. Getting this one pennywort to grow out is very cool. He had some immersed growth in there too, with these pennyworts reaching for the reach for the sky, pilgrim. So yeah, really cool there. It looks like the Kabamba never quite got up out of the water. But this is almost like a giant hydrocaudal verticillata, just a big old pennywort or moneywort, a Japanese moneywort, if you will. But I wanted to celebrate that one. So then we've got another one here by Anonymous with nothing in it, but it's all immersed. And so if I had to wager a guess, it looks like we maybe have a hygrophila and some what do you call them? Trees, mangrove trees. And these look like chestnut trees almost, but I don't think they are. They're probably young mangroves maybe. I don't know exactly what's going on here. If you guys know more, let me know. But that's all she wrote for that entry, which is a shame because I know it was a killifish mudhole biotope, which I would have really liked to see completed. So like I said, there's some of these that didn't get completed. Now, this one too, it has setup images, and this was a pond snail one, and then it had peat moss clippings and all that. It had 3 Japanese trapdoor snails, 5 cherry red shrimp, 5 dream shrimp, and the baby fish nursery as it grows out was the idea. He says, I'm always here lurking on YouTube. Most I'm active on Instagram. So I wanted to thank this person too. Yeah, it could be a Ludwigia species too, I suppose, huh? Aqua Negro Danny. So, I mean, this is a nice little container, definitely. But I think maybe he's got some Riccia. Now, Riccia is a tricky one. It always floats at the frickin' top. It wants to be on a stick at water level. That's just what it wants. If you can trim it into a neat little hedge or bush, it is a testament to your skill. Alan did that recently on the Facebook group, and it was impressive. Also impressive is this little split desk lamp. Very, very nice, subtle, little slimline bubbler here. And, you know, I like the hardware setup on this one, too. There's a piece of cholla wood, so there's some tannins. This questionable, it's probably Nymphea minutia, but if this is just a little start, both this and then the onion plant will grow up and out of the water very quickly, but this will take over everything, even though it's pretty in the sand. Maybe if nutrients are low enough, it'll stay small. But just a note on those beautiful tiger lilies is they're very temporary. If you want those. Now, this one, the setup images, the inspiration images, I just had to show you guys this because this is, I take it from online or something, but look at this. I mean, that is cool. I really want to do something like this, where you got growth up top. I'd have more immersed growth. They've got like a Kessel light or something expensive, I bet, on it there. And then a cave. I mean, if you had cichlids or catfish, I mean, how perfect would that be? That is an epic piece of engineering there, especially if the water circulates and everything. The trick would be if you have any plants in that lower layer, what would happen? The world may never know. But it looks like these are pictures, I would guess, of their home tank. So I see Java fern, I see Pogostemon, erectus. I see maybe a Ludwigia here. It looks like a Ludwigia of some site. And also some Cypress hellfry. or hell fairy, however you want to say it. And then maybe hornwort floating at the top too. So, but that was from Asaya Llewellyn, or Asaya. I don't know how to say it. But again, no follow through on the what happened. So bummer. But now we get to Backroom Aquarist. I think this is the one of the first ones with some follow through. So this was a CPD tank. Goal was to get a carpet over sand. So that is going to be very tricky. Carpet over sand, I would use, and here's his midpoint pictures, which I love when people included midpoint pictures. I would say to get a carpet on sand or substrate like this needs to be very old generally, because you need that mulm under there. Now, he used root tabs in here, which is a start, and they'll cluster around the root tabs, but it tends, not always, hair grass can grow with enough CO2, it can grow, but you'd probably want a Monte Carlo or a low growing crypt or something like that. Something like that would likely work better to grow in. So I'm curious to see how it ends up. It looks like there was a little trouble getting things to come up and out, but Xanadu, thank you so much. We got a $10 hype, more prize, shipping, and Dr. Pepper. Do you have a People's Choice Award? We don't, and I would love that. I'll have to talk with Alan on the best way to submit that. I mean, if you guys want to comment on this video after the fact, if you want to say the name of the person whose aquascape you liked or the top 3, I would love that. I mean, feel free to do that. In fact, let's see if people will do that anyways, just for feedback for everyone. But yeah, so that's a great idea, and we'll try to get something together for that, because I agree. I would love you guys to have a say. My channel, I want it to be, I want it to be engaging for everybody. Now, this one, phenomenal job of documenting it and everything. This was just a natural jungle tank. Someone who went after my own heart. Oh, your hair grass is actually carpeting fairly fast in your sand. Great to hear, Steven. Great to hear. Also, it looked like we had like a little hatchery or something up here at the top, which is nice. If you wanted it to be, I mean, you could easily turn that into one. And then this grew out, so wassertang grew out, and then we've got plants around here and kind of a stream thing. It looks like stuff kind of settled in there, but we've got Bacopa, I would guess, Monieri maybe, or Caroliniana. And then let's see, did he list it? And let's see here. Yeah, Bacopa, Creeping Jenny too. I would say, I mean, yeah, I mean, you could put some more in there, but some biotopes don't have much of anything in there. Some biotopes have no plants. That being said, if for an immersed contest, I'm glad that you guys put some plants in all of these, basically. Okay, so set up images on barbs. So this is really cool. Let me pull it. So up top here, she's got this existing tank. It's nice. It's got good leaves. We got some Aponagitons, Aponogeton. Looks like Longiplumulus maybe. Maybe a big old Vasis, can't tell for sure. Same here. And then we've got some Anubias and Ludwigia, it appears, and also some Hydrocotyle. Really cool there. And then look at that pretty betta. What a pretty betta. A lot of root tabs. Yeah, that probably helps, Steven. And then the Amber Tetras, man, that blue and orange goes really nice together. The little bumblebee goby, or maybe it's a bumble. It looks like more like a bumblebee platy with that wide eye. But I love those fish. Man, I wish I had some around here. And then a nice piece of, looks like Mopani driftwood in there. Beautiful, beautiful piece of wood. Crypts over here. All this stuff's real low light friendly. And And these, believe it or not, in the center here will grow to the top. Now, I'm not going to give full critiques or anything today, but I will just note that with these plants, doing the exact inverse would probably help, or putting them in the corner, because these 5 or 6 species here have the potential to grow up and out of the tank really easily, and they'll reach for the light. So I would probably recommend putting them in one of the corners or in the back, so they make a big wall going up. And so you have this area open for crypts or whatever you want to do in the foreground. So yeah, and it looks like over time, you know, obviously stuff's going to grow in, but she's got Amano shrimps in there for cleaning and snails, and, you know, she's got everything you would need. So here it is growing up over time. So we can see this looks like a hygrophila, maybe, Coriambosa, maybe. And then Pogostemon octopus or Stellatus octopus. And maybe, what is this? Erectus? Pogo erectus? Can't tell for sure. Maybe she says, hold on. And then lots of the Ponegeton. Looks like she added more fish, some golden rams, and some neon tetras, dwarf neon tetras. Really love that, how that was working out. So far, so she's got dirt under there, but so far she's the first to really incorporate that dirt in these. So now look at this. By the end of the contest, looks like we got Asian water fern, or AKA water sprite, growing up at the top, just about to come out. We've got some moneywort or something coming up here, and ivy from somewhere else coming up. Then it looks like we have some sort of plant. It's not a monstera, but I don't know what. Maybe it's a sword of some sort that was placed up high. And then likewise over here, I don't. Let's see if she lists it. But you can see that just below the surface, she was just about ready to get there to the top. So I mean, we take that all into consideration. But look how this all grew out. She looks like she must have a low enough light that these didn't grow very fast, or low enough nutrients that these didn't grow as fast. Now, Pogo octopus, this stuff is going to grow so fast. Same with Coriambosa. Same with a lot of the moneyworts and things. So it doesn't surprise me that those grew so fast. And in that case, it looks really great the way she did it. Alan, thank you so much. Alan Shambrook tossed in another 5 into the pot for prizes, and I think we should get that People's Choice Award going, and we can either do cash or gift card or whatever the People's Choice is. I mean, probably cash, I would say, right? People's Choice. Also, I mean, I don't want to be presumptuous, but if you feel like giving more than, say, $20, PayPal is definitely a good way to do it, just because they don't take 40% and I don't have to pay taxes, because basically half of the just a little over half of super chats get to me in the end. But all right, look at that. So that's a great looking tank. Right on, Barb. I mean, look at how she continued to fill it in here. She continued to cut the crowns off of other plants, replant them. It looks like she's got some sage growing in here, chaining up, or maybe a dwarf chain sword. Hard to tell. How will we choose which one is the favorite People's Choice? Well, I'm asking people when this is posted to, if you can, I know it's a pain to get back on here, but to write the name of the person who had the aquascape you guys liked the most. And then we'll tally that up. And then we'll take the most popular names, and under the community tab, we can vote for them again out of the top 5 or something like that, and pick one. Have everyone look again and post this somewhere. But let's see here. I'll have to talk to Alan about that. But for now, you can reference this video. So yeah, Alan says, I'll make an official poll for the People's Choice. Right on. Thank you, Alan. He's smarter than me with how to do all this without doxing everyone. See, that was the other thing. And Barb had a great video too, so that's cool. Ben Excel, nice pleco, by the way. And then a final image. We don't know what he started with or a plan or anything, but a decent looking tank. Nothing made it out of the top, it doesn't look like. But nice fish, some candy cane tetras, some bleeding heart tetras, some little maybe penguin or emperor tetras, and yeah, nice kind of mountain range effect going on in there. And I like the use of those plants there. And this tree, literally a tree coming out in the center of it, was a nice look to pull your eye up and out, kind of that asymmetrical thing. So Burke had a couple tanks for inspiration. Looks like this is what he set up. He didn't do a second tank, but I'm guessing this grew out, especially if he had any sort of CO2, this probably grew out covering these rocks. Now, moss can take a really long time to cover rocks, and you need to use glue to kind of help it along the way, usually. But over time, it will do it. And he submitted this image, which must have been a really small resolution image. But yeah, so I just wanted to share with you what he was going for, just to give you an idea, because some of the submission inspiration things, like this person didn't actually do one, but man, look at that tank. That is a really cool tank right there. That might be Nicaea golden, I'm not sure. The Triflora golden Nicaea, or it could be a Bacopa golden. I can't really tell for sure there. And then we've got Rotala Atra probably, or maybe Bangladesh, but probably Atra there, and then some super red Ludwigia off to the left. And so that's a pretty sweet inspiration tank that I just figured, like, we're looking at tanks, we're learning. I'm just trying to point out things to you guys, and let me know if you have any questions along the way of like what is secret history living in your aquarium. You need a comment with timestamps and entry numbers, pin it, and have people put the entries as comments on the pinned post. I would love if somebody wants to do that. I can't do that right now. If somebody wants to start taking down those, I mean, that would be awesome. I can't coordinate it while I'm running the stream, unfortunately. But yeah, that would help if someone does want to do timestamps of the eligible tanks where we have, you know, these shots like this tank here. So here we get to another one, Surreala. I don't know how to say it. But Brandy Emerson, 14-gallon, you know, the plan, 5 betta fry, which was really cool plan, shrimp, and you know, they're going to be baby bettas, so should be fine. Rainbow moss, which is really cool moss, and then some wood over it in kind of a cube tank was the idea. So here's the midpoint, and so we get the idea that there's sand in here. Now this sand looks really fine. I could be totally wrong, but I love the fine sand as a cap. I worry though that it'll smother plants in the long run. Crypts tend to do really good in silt and sand, a lot of them, but some plants can get choked out. So just be aware of that. Look at this immersed growth though. I mean, this is impressive. This is cool. We've got all sorts. Look at this rainbow moss. I mean, you can see why it's called that. That bright pink and yellow. She's got the duckweed. She's got maybe frogbit or water lettuce. Can't tell for sure there. And then this like some sort of sundew or something, maybe even like a more terrestrial plant growing up at the top, but looked really good. And remember, this is her midpoint pictures. So then she's got some more here. I don't know what this plant is, and I'm really curious to know what that one is. Because, yeah, I don't recognize that chaining one. Yeah, we will be doing another contest. Oh, look at her red root floaters, too. I mean, beautiful. And then water lilies too. I mean, actual frogbit and actual water lilies in there. So looks really nice. Looks like a biotope. I mean, that is pretty darn close to what you'd see in a lot of Venezuelan type rivers. If you saw that Fishes of the Orinoco book that I reviewed by Ivan, you could see on there that it looked like that. Now, her final grow out, it looks like things just kind of got denser and she kind of cleaned things up. You can see the moss starts growing out very nice and starts getting the little flowers and florets. Really cool. Really cool tank with that nice piece of wood in there. Yeah, real impressive. So, and the red root floaters are like purple. So I'd be curious to know the pH of the water. But usually it tends to be things turn blue with anthocyanins in alkaline, purple at right around neutral to about 6.5 to 7 pH. Anything below 6.5, they start to turn blood red. If anthocyanins are the pigment in there. But again, she got good shots of that immersed growth up there because this would have been hard to judge. And here you get a really good view of it all, and you also see underneath was not the focus whatsoever, really. I mean, she was really able to keep this pretty true to life with a few crypts in here and some Soswassertong, some moss, some it looks like Ludwigia, and some sag, some boos, and then rocks, and then catappa leaves. Love the use of the catappa leaves. That's a must for a lot of biotope tanks. Here's another up close. I want to know if this is like super red Ludwigia or what this is. This could be Alternanthera renicia too, or at first glance I thought it was Pinnatophyta, but I don't think it is. It looks like your protein or your ferts might be a teeny bit heavy. That's your call, obviously, but I could see that the snail shells and everything were looking nice and the way they should. So your calcium, your TDS is probably spot on. So it's cool, all the stuff you can tell by looking at an aquarium. So yeah, very cool. Nice entry. So in here we've got Brandon. Didn't submit other than the initial, but I mean, what a cool piece of wood. And again, bow fronts. We got a lot of bow fronts, people with bow fronts. I've got a bow front. You got a bow front. We got a bow front. Everybody bow front time. Bree here, we have this, but we didn't really get a plan later. But I do, sometimes these statues can be used to pretty good effect. This looks like some things came unmoored a little bit, but I'm curious to know if they were glued on at one point and then the intention was to secure it all down or what. But and water bamboo, I know, is their plan. Look at this. Let's just look at this for inspiration, though. This was an inspiration thing. Danikin, what's up, Kenny? Welcome to the chat. I need a dab. What's going on? Randy Roman, obviously, I saw you. And then Richard Bunt, what's up? Good to see everyone in here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And whenever I see Kenny, I want to remind folks that October 10th is Fishtoberfest, and I will be speaking. Jason of Redfish Bluefish will be speaking. Dan from Dan's Fish Room will be speaking, who also does getgills.com. And also Lawrence Kent will be speaking, and dun, da, 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 Lucas Bretz will be speaking too. All right, guys. So here we've got some really cool growth coming up out selectively. On a tank like this, you could say, oh, they didn't have that many species coming out, and we said we wanted more than one. But honestly, if somebody had submitted this tank, we probably wouldn't have docked that many because there's a lot of plants right next to growing out, and it could have been a time issue, which I know a lot of you guys face. I know time was an issue. That's why, though, on my tank, and I do understand that I have a highlight that a lot of people don't, or to have more expensive Fluval 3.0. I get that is not the cheapest thing in the world to buy, and rimless tanks and CO2, all that stuff. But I just wanted to show, and that's why I did it in the tubs outside, all through 2 weeks. I mean, or 2 months into the video and onward, if you watch my live streams when we did tours of my room, we definitely saw a lot of plants that were done quickly. So this was originally a sweet potato. Was the plan, I guess. It says he didn't plan it. I'll have to read that one more time. But I mean, that looks great. It looks like Ludwigia pantanal maybe, and then normal Ludwigia or it could be a limnophilia, I guess. Limnophilia. And then some crypt red tiger just spilling over because it's so luscious, as well as maybe I don't know what this other crypt is. This a crypt? It's hard to tell in that picture. But then boos, so and dwarf hairgrass, all of it looks really good. The moss on the wood it doesn't look quite like Mopani. It looks like it could be maybe like Malaysian driftwood or something closer to that ilk. But there's a video on that one that we can watch too. All right, so more that we didn't have final images for. Now this one we didn't either, but I just thought there was a couple interesting things, which was look at these little condos. Very cute, very different than what I see. I see Alternanthera renicii variegated going on, or AAR variegated. Octopus stellatus. These are all great low light plants. We got the golden white cloud minnows, a female that's just full of eggs. We got a lot of pond snails going on. So I would say that you're probably overfeeding unless you're trying to get pond snails, which maybe you are, for all I know. But then above, it looks like this was going on. But the thing that I'm a little confused on is that this light may just be really wide. I don't know. This tank has some air lines and stuff going here, or CO2 lines. I mean, look at the density of this. We got Rotala ludwigia, the Rotalas rotundifolia, and then we've got the octopus. We've got red root floaters, duckweed. So, I mean, yeah, it was definitely cranking up top. But in this picture here, it looks like the tank's like longer than that light was for some reason. But I can see the mound there. So I'm just curious what light that is. That's all. Looks like it's an Aqueon, and I'm just curious if it got down in there, how you feel it is for a light if you're watching Cam. But yeah, I mean, beautiful tank, but we just didn't get the final submission. We just got the first submission. Let's see here. Yeah, these tanks are really great. You know, you guys did really good. Let's see here. So we've got Ken Zhao, probably Zhao, I'm guessing. T-Bone, thank you so much. Joining Lurker. T-Bone is coming and going. I know that you've had issues with the membership tab. I apologize. I don't know if it's something with the country or what the heck the deal is, but I greatly appreciate it, sir. And you are still a mod, so thank you, sir. As I said earlier, any of the funds that y'all super chat in tonight go into more awards and stuff. We will be doing a People's Choice Award. So whichever one of these that is eligible, we will be able to all vote on. So Ken, improving his existing scape was his plan. Now, he also won one of the awards last year, I believe. And young, ambitious guy, really good botanist, amateur botanist, if you want to call it that. But I mean, I don't know about amateur. And then his final tank, I mean, look at this. We got the we got the moss. I thought it was Riccia for a second. It's not. It's another kind of moss, maybe. And then Alan says, I figured out the best way to make a poll for people's choice. A link will be posted in the comments after the video when it ends. Thank you so much, Alan. So if you want to vote on the people's choice, we will round up money from the super chats and toss them in on that. And we might have an extra book too, of a signed first edition aquarium book. So we can think about that too. Yeah. So lots to go around. Just some terrestrial moss you found. Really? Wow. Way to go out there and try things, man. That is awesome. Really cool. And then, you know, good immersed plants going on there. And underneath, always as it is, everything competes right under the surface. But we've got some boost. We've got some Java fern, like windlove or trident or rooster tail. It's hard to tell what kind it is in that picture exactly. Maybe trident. And then we've got a moneywort or pennywort of some sort. It looks like we've got a bacopa, maybe Colorado. Looks like a Colorado red or something. But I mean, this tank looked real nice. And you can see that if I were you, Ken, I would maybe think about planting some Bulbidus hedulata right here, right in this top left corner. And that will grow up and out as a beautiful fern that will hang over the light. And it needs so little light that it'll be able to just exist there. That's just my thought. He has a video too, but we're going to keep going through these right now. So we've got Chris Orth. No final images, but again, such promise in the start, the 60-gallon tank. So we were bummed that we didn't get those final images. Now this one, final image, same as the first. I'm Henry VIII, I am. Henry VIII, I am. I've been married to the widow next door, and she's been married 7 times before, and everyone was the same entry, same entry. Okay, Clayton Cole, 120-gallon tank. Now we're talking about some big old tanks. A lot more work to do that. But look at all the work with the substrate. And in the plan here, the plan was habitat for breeding inhabitants, 2 bags of fluorite red with the iron, oil dry also, so soaking up that oil dry, or that's probably the same as that safety zorb stuff kind of thing. It's probably diatomaceous earth that really sucks up nutrients, and you can almost use as like a substrate that is the root tab that releases it over time. High iron content, good for anoxic bacteria, that's for sure. It needs that, and it also needs a little bit of sulfur. You should get that from your food and stuff, from fish food. Crystalline structure of the clay supposedly attracts positively charged ions. So really admire the look into both a hybrid of the Wallstead method and of the Novak system of using the BH beef baskets and things like that, but doing that with the substrate. So it looks like marsh-like plants were going to be the goal. Let's see here. Spawning mops in the floating area. All natural, no filtration and lighting. Okay. Pretty much all non-natural filtration and lighting are bought secondhand, and the driftwood was actually acquired from nature. I'll be striving for a biotope. So I just wanted to go into like all the work. Look at this under gravel plenum. So really following the science, filled that in over that, following the science that we've talked about on here so much. So really cool. And then here we've got this nice big old light. We've got lots of wood scaffolding, which is nice. And then the tank itself, I would assume that this tank will go through some interesting, tough times with algae and things like that. So I don't know where it was in that point in time. But, I mean, it's remarkable that in 4 months. A tank like this is designed to be set up for 6 to 10 years. Is the reason you do all this, and it should filter itself over time. But I mean, again, seeing plants that we've seen used and looking pretty, and the critters are great too. Looks like the other thing I would maybe look at doing just while it's getting going, because lakes and things have a giant reservoir of ponds, streams, marshes, flood areas as their filtration, bogs and reeds. We don't have that in our tank. So as much as we want to be natural and not add filters and stuff, it's always good to have a filter on it first, and to just kind of get that biological. I can see the mulm in there. I have the same problem in my African cichlid tank right now. And so in my Haplochromis tank, so you sometimes just get this, you see this like algae, but it's also just like fuzzy stuff that settles in there. And you can sometimes just take a gravel vac and get rid of that, and it'll be fine. Or just keep knocking it around with flow until it falls. And then we've got frog bit, and we've got red root floaters and giant water lettuce, as well as some of these others that looks like are poking up too. Now this one is oh, there's a duplicate. Never mind. So Danielle, I don't know what happened if Danny got busy, because Danny of Danikin Aquatics, maybe she had entry trouble or something. I know she was excited to work on this, but I just wanted to show you guys her inspiration. So I'll have to message them and see, make sure that there wasn't some loss in the void of her entry, because I know she was excited about it, and was working on it like a month ago when I talked to her. But I know that a lot have been going on in her life. I'm not going to get into details, but I do want to say my heart goes out to the Danikin, the Edwards household, Kenny and Danny. I know you guys have had a lot on your plate, and you're organizing the giant Portland get together. And so I love you guys and appreciate what you do for us all, seriously. This one you can see was set up and started, and it looks great. I mean, hair grass, we've got some grass that would get tall here. We've got some already emergent growth. Maybe is this Cardinalis lobelia temple plant, or is it some house plant? I don't know for sure. But I mean, just lots of promise. Moss, spruce, anubias, all sorts of things could be tucked in here later. But I like the color of the pinks and the pastels. Most fish can live with plecos, to be honest. I saw your question. But yeah, look at that scaffold. I mean, what a great scaffold as hardscape. Maybe some aqua soil would have been good. That's pretty thin right there. You could even scrape the bottom of your tank if you're not careful. Just a little side note, but not going into super in depth on that. Still looks really good. Now, Dara's, look at this Dutch influence scape as inspiration. I mean, dang. Whoever did this. We got Ludwigia chai, which I finally got some of. Woo! And then, oh, hey, Fish Kid, what's going on? Welcome. And so lots of, what do we have here? Maybe, I don't even know if this is Pink Panther. This might be Albida crypt. There's stuff I don't know in here. This looks like maybe, yeah, blood vomit right there. I mean, so these are super rares. These are ultra super crazy mega rares in this tank going on. But why not reach for the stars? Another tank that was inspiring to him. I mean, look at this. Who wouldn't be inspired by these? These are incredible. This is world-class ADA competition type stuff. But he started with this. You got to work with what you got. And he started with this. And so we've got some sparse plants, some snails, and it looks like substrate with some gravel and maybe some aqua soil under that. Nice piece of wood. Obviously, it was floating, so you got to put the rock on it. Yeah, it looks like we're wired up for CO2 also. Let's see here. So then if we go to midpoint, we'll skip midpoint because we're going to go to final images. I mean, look at this. This is great. Look at all that Ludwigia. This looks like a Ludwigia palustris probably, or inclinata maybe, growing up out of the water, loud and proud. Could be a super red too. The Ludwigias are a little hard to tell until they flower, but very cool. That's what we want to see, is the difference underwater and above water, so we can all learn from it. And I learned a lot. Certain plants are going to pop out and crest the top. Here's Alternanthera renickii coming up and charging right through. Some get too dry and die if you just drain the tank. Some people tried that where they said, I'm going to drain the tank. And it didn't work as hot as they thought it would. So that's here. I want to give your eyes a break real quick, or your eyes a break. Hi, back to me. I'm a person running it, not just a disembodied voice. But I was going to say that basically, a lot of people tried different things like bringing the water level down in their aquarium, and that, sure, fine. That's a fine choice. But sometimes it's too fast and everything just dries out. Other people tried slowly doing that rather than in one water change or whatever. Other people tried not doing that at all and letting everything grow up over and above. And others, yet again, tried different things altogether, where they started their plants up out of the water, or tied to a stick up really high, or they used whatever to do that. Stephen, member of 4 months, love these scapes. Thank you, buddy. I didn't know that you could just send a note like that. That's cool. Right on. So members can send notes too, like where I can see them even better. Oh, you could have. Kenny says could have done one, but the cichlids would have destroyed the whole thing. Yeah, I'm sure they would have. I want to take a break real quick point just to show you guys something. Also, I have a whole video coming out on it, but I want to give you guys a sneak peek. I still have one more plant to enter into it, but I totally gutted the jungle tank and replanted it on my own with and we're just using the laptop literally, so you're not going to get a good image here, but we got a lot of rares in here. We got CO2 rolling, and yeah, we should have some fun with this. It's still the super deep substrate right here, which is 9 inches deep over. So replace the substrate. If you're curious how to redo a tank completely, once it's become all leggy, once these stems have become tangled and are no longer, like over here, this is getting ridiculous because I was letting stuff try to get immersed, and you've trimmed everything a million times, or maybe you didn't know how to trim stuff right so that it would split off or stay low. So I have a video that probably tomorrow or the next day will be coming out. Tomorrow will, though, be the day at night when we are actually going to announce the winners. So that'll be exciting. Tonight is the night of learning. Tonight is the night of having fun, chatting. If you have questions, please feel free. If you see one that you really like, go ahead and say, oh, this is one I really like, or whatever. Because it's good for one another to celebrate what we've discovered in this process. If your scape comes up while I'm going through these and you're like, oh, I also had a problem with this and Alex didn't mention it, feel free to do that too, because, we all learn from everyone's mistakes. I mean, we've all made a ton of mistakes in this hobby. We've all lost a ton of fish. It's, hi, I'm a professional fish murderer. You know, when people say I'm a master breeder, it just means I've killed more fish than you have over the years. So, you know, just be humble about humble about it, and keep learning from one another. All right, let's hop back into the dun da da da. Keep rolling, rolling, rolling. But with Derez, I mean, this tank, it looked beautimous, so beautimous. I feel pretty, oh so pretty. Look at that. And some of these, the Ludwigias, they grow so dang quick. I mean, it doesn't surprise me that they grew up and out. Now, I think he dropped the water level is what happened also, and that's why he's getting death of some of these in here. That would be my guess, but I don't know for sure. But yeah, so kind of interesting how that happened. I'm curious what survives. Sometimes, like Bulbias hedulata will dry out to a crisp sometimes, and the stem will stay, and you're like, there's no way that's going to live. And then it will all of a sudden turn into a beautiful fern. Whereas some of these other more fragile plants, they're marsh plants, and they're not designed to go up and down that much that quickly. So unless the humidity stays really high, they die very easily. So that's another note, is you could put saran wrap over the tank or something. And if it's a heated tank, it would do well. But, you know, I am interested also on what this light is, because it looks like a very streamlined light. I can't tell if there's two lights or just one, but he's got carpeting going on with what looks like dwarf baby tears. And they're like going up into here and stuff too, with some really nice low level swords and crypts. I mean, so he's got good light in there. Fishbox says, while moving or substrate around, I knocked the bulb off my red tiger lily. Will it survive? It depends. Usually, yes. Usually what you want to do is dry it out, take it out, dry it out for 2 weeks at least in a place under 70 degrees, but over 55 degrees, and kind of like a cool, dark, damp spot, basically. And then from there, you just want to, oh, and he had shrimp in there, which is nice too. Let's see here. I'm just trying to see if he, Bentley helped him with that. That's good to know. Ludwigia repens and Alternanthera renicii happily grew immersed. However, the Rotala would not get past the water line. Instead, it crawled. I dropped the water level. Yep. And I used bamboo skewers to support it. So that's exactly what I was talking about. So it's probably the humidity issue, if I had to guess. All right. So DG Reeves man. De Greaves man. I don't know. Let's see here. So we've got a midpoint entry, which looked nice. I mean, we'll go to the end point though, because look at this tank. Beautiful immersed growth. I mean, if we could have had a picture for the challenge, it would have been pretty darn close to this, honestly. It really would have. This is so cool. I don't know what this big old plant is, honestly. But here we've got so many species. I mean, and everything is immersed. I don't even know if there's room for that many fish in here. So sustainability wise, I had a little bit of a question on that one. But I mean, this, I'm guessing maybe Ludwigia Super Red looks just killer. I'm curious what this is. Maybe he'll list it, because it does look like some Ludwigias that we've seen. But you can see also, check this out. You can see also he's got like a living wall over here and another tank here. So clearly somebody with experience. The giant money wort, the Cardinalis lobelia. Then this is Bacopa with flowers. He's got it flowering, which is crazy. I think this is Mayaka. That, or he put a pine branch in there, but I would guess it's Mayaka. And it looks like this was done without highlight. Looks like it was done with a spotlight in a desk lamp. So not crazy highlight, but look how it reaches for the light. I mean, you can do so much with that. And again, it looks like somebody used a bamboo skewer to also help pack that up. So really cool. The other thing is I can see cyanobacteria starting to grow here. Not a big deal. My tanks do that too. But look at the change here. So there originally was a change here. And I'm interested to know how old this tank was, because generally this stuff all develops over the 4-month period. I mean, like longer than 4 months. So I do know that the midpoint was listed, but the initial was not filled out on that one. But midpoint and final is fine. Oh, wait, here we go. Yep, submitted pictures. Yeah, he sent me pictures on 11th of August. That's right. Okay. Yeah, and then I gave him to Alan. But he said they were plagued with very strong winds and it flattened some of my immersed growth. My aquarium was set up on my outdoor patio. See, that is so cool. He's in Trinidad and Tobago, on the island of Trinidad. So cool. I love having the international entries, you guys. Yeah, you can put shrimp in a tank with pleco. Pleco comptas will munch on them, or compactas. Any of the plecos that are, how do you say it? Stinkers. Hold on, guys. I'm getting a soda real quick. Any of the plecos that are tricky meat-eating omnivores have a chance of nipping at that. But that being said, it doesn't seem to happen a ton. I mean, they'll still eat a few, and yes, they can eat the adults too, generally. But shrimp are usually way quicker than plecos. The way plecos sneak up is plecos actually are so just derpy and slow usually most of their day that they just hang out there, and the shrimp like sit on their face, and the pleco will just turn its head and take a munch out of one or two every now and then. Rarely are they going to hunt your stuff. All right, Dinky Winky Dog. So the Lagoon Pond style. Got this from the idea of New Mexico, which I think is really cool. And again, the initial setup or first setup, we've got a nice soar, we've got hair grass, maybe some Cypress Health Fairy. We've got water sprite. This will probably take over. We'll see. She's got rocks with little inspirational, looks like kind of a Christianity path, like believe, faith, people, live, God. And then she's got nice dragon stone. She's got bamboo and spider plant, or maybe I don't know, it could be something else. And then maybe a variegated pothos, or a pinto pothos. These are cool lights, though. I'm curious how strong they were, how they ended up working. And then the heater mounted on the side there with a little hang on the back filter and a pre-filter, which is nice. Duckweed should take over too. Oh, and she's got the Nymphea, the Taiwanese Nymphea, which is also very nice. And then it looks like she ended up, look at this, she ended up planting some nice moss in there. Also some, is this tripartita, hydrocotyle tripartita, or some sort of hydrocotyle? Also maybe bacopa and some Alternanthera renekii. Again, always a good one. But I mean, you can see from this angle, looks really nice. Looks really nice. Focal point here. I like that there's height in the front and in the back corner. Like, it's kind of a different take on things than I've seen usually, which is really cool. And then also just this whole setup. I mean, we weren't grading for the whole thing, although we were grading the direct tank mates. So if anything had roots in the tank, we were grading on that as part of the composition. but we didn't want to grade people unfairly if they couldn't afford a nice table or they couldn't afford 50 plants. But you can see she's got another bowl back here. We always like looking in the back of things. And then just it just looks nice. So I mean, just all together, Dinky Winky Dog, really good entry there. Final images, so it grew out some more. And you can just see that this is going to be a tank that grows with her. Hopefully this sage will get thicker. If it doesn't, you could try Stargrass. Stargrass is another one that will grow with pretty low light and it will carpet pretty well. Or Monte Carlo. I like this color of this trail of rocks of different color with the sword here that stays small. And then this circular pillar. I mean, I would say you could probably hide your actual filter in there. And I don't think she said she did. Yeah, she didn't. But I think you could actually put all the filtration in there with a little pond pump, and that would look really cool. And you could get rid of the other one. Do Golden Desert goby dig into substrate? Yes, most gobies will dig into substrates. Pretty much, yeah, pretty much all of them. Siphodons do it less, but they'll still do it a ½ inch or so. I mean, they still would do that. No, giant African shrimp eat pleco eggs and fry, or are they strictly filter feeders? Giant African shrimp? I don't know which one that is. Are you talking about not a bamboo shrimp, not a vampire shrimp? Talking about the African prawn? Those, I don't know what they eat, but yeah. All right. So then we've got Dominic. Didn't have a total entry. Don Drew, again, nice setup in here, and we've got the initial, look at that. He did a dry start, which is really cool. Saran wrap. I'm curious to know, it looks like good lighting and everything, but I'm curious to know if there was a heater hidden somewhere in here most of the time when the picture wasn't being taken, because that can really help keep it humid in there. But I mean, boom, look at that. That is crazy. Look at that carpeting and piling on. Here you can see there's a challenge with algae. Who wouldn't have a challenge with algae? I don't know how you could do this without mountains of shrimp or snails or algae eaters or something in there. Yet I don't see any of those, and I just see Luminatus and CPDs. So really, really cool. Atieo gabonensis. Oh, yeah. No, you should be good with those. You should be good with those ones. The Atia or Atea. I don't know how to say it exactly with the Latin. Looks like some of the boosts and stuff. I mean, you could get this cleaned up. Your carpeting growth is going to be real fragile and this draping. So be careful on that. But the fact that you have it this lush, you've cut it this dense, is really a testament to the amount of work done there. So with CO2 and good lights, yep. And then we got some mermaid weed here. Always looks really cool in high light CO2. And it looks really cool when it gets up out of there. But I mean, as time went on, he was able to sculpt, actual topiary look out of that. So just incredible. And it's the 3 pendant lights and the CO2 really allow you to grow stuff quickly. All right, so here's one that I really enjoyed. Emma, she wanted to have a waterfall area with emergent growth. And these were some inspirational images, I guess. Right here. So it looks like Emma is somewhere in maybe Hong Kong, China. I can't tell for sure by that writing. Taiwan. Oh wait, no, it looks like Japan. It's got the yen, I think. But yeah, so inspiration, the 2 cube thing. But then check out what Emma did. Back it up. Back it up. All right, so had to move the entire scape to a larger setup. Couldn't properly balance the original. I was able to add more fish, 12 gold neon tetras. I also battled green blue algae and flow issues. Yeah, you got to make sure water flows everywhere in the tank. There's still some left, but flow issues have been resolved. Blue green algae is nearly gone. Staghorn algae is present, which is a first for me. Trying to figure out how to solve that. I have a video called "Can Too Low of Light Cause Algae?" I suggest you check that video out, Emma, if you're watching. It can give you some tips on the various things you could try, the different variables that should hopefully help. Aquatic plant seeds available super cheap on eBay from China. So that could be how that carpet was grown. I'm not sure, but I do want to warn people, those work. They really do. The ones that are like $2 a packet. The problem is that they die in like a 1 day to 5 day period, and you get the craziest algae bloom slash, I mean, it just turns yellow, and usually we'll get a crash. Most people's tanks will get a crash. They'll get an ammonia spike. It'll be a crash. A lot of times they're not true aquatics, but sometimes they are. Jalapeno, jalapeno. That's really cute. So here we go. Let's look at her tank. I mean, really pretty stuff. Rocks, you know, I thought there'd be aqua soil, but she did a very low light focused tank as far as plants go. Anubias, sage. I don't know if it's Italian or dwarf. Looks like dwarf. And then she's got a sword plant planted up high, some frog bit and some pennywort. Lots of moss already on this stick. I don't know if she was growing that underwater, but then she's got a nice little air plant, a Tillandsia up here. So, I mean, it just looks nice, especially with her betta. And then these gold tetras, golden tetras, I think she said. And then she added this nice crypt in here. Looks killer. I don't know if it's an axelrod or undulata. It's hard to know, especially if she's in a different country like Japan or something. They have different color morphs a lot of time. Let's see here. All right. So, yeah, that was I really liked her entry. I mean, just beautiful. Look at that. She packed in, she cut more stems by the very end. The Nubius even grew well. And it's just a clean look, a nice look. I mean, beautiful job, Emma. I'm curious where you're located. If you're in the chat, let us know. T-Bone's Fishes, $5. Thank you so much. We got a $5 super chat from T-Bone, and that will be going to the Fish's Choice Award, to the People's Choice Award. Very cool. I appreciate that. Like I said, the money raised tonight will be going to more gifts going back to you guys, and should be fun. Ethan Everett Bates, no CO2 in this one. Wanted to look like a betta habitat. Boom. So this is what he started with. I like that wall, the rock wall background is really cool. I don't know if he made it or bought it or what. And then there's some potted plants behind it, which is always a good idea. And then look at this. So we've got ferns. I don't know if these are Asian ferns here, little like a water sprite or something like that. But really cool that they've grown out and above. Could be a mini bulbitis even. And then we've got booze. We've got glossostigma that's growing right into the grass or right into the sand. This must be a decent light. And then in the margins, we've got lots of booths, and we've even got some Ludwigias, some Rotalas, some mosses, some wood, all that stuff. So looks really good, really really balanced in a like you know, the arch right there draws your eye to this blank center. You might put even a bigger fish in here than bettas. And also, I would say that a betta habitat, as much as I like this and everything, and it's great, you want to add more tannins. Betta always live in some Coca-Cola-y water. So maybe adding like a coconut husk and some tannins or a banana leaf could just give it that finishing touch, where your betta would really, really enjoy it too. But I mean, I know there's always challenges. Really, really nice. Fonseca, we didn't get initial info on this one, but nevertheless, let's take a look at this. Really nice looking. I don't know what plant this is, but the way it laid down, maybe it's Lobelia cardinalis. I can't tell. But things look pretty good. Having an algae issue, like the best of us do. I don't know if this is a Monstera or what. No, probably not. I don't know what it is with those two holes. Somebody smarter than me might know. Well, maybe. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to pretend to know. Sorry, guys. Don't know houseplants as well. But, yeah, just very nice. It does look like the shop in San Francisco, Ocean Aquatics. Up here, I mean, just a nice little island of, I mean, talk about what do I do with this weird piece of driftwood. She figured that out, or he figured that out. I forget who we're talking about even. And then the Hydrocotyl tripartita. Love this little mini 3-leaf clover looking plant. Just a beautiful plant. One of my favorites. So great entry. Fragile Nano Tank Charlie. Setup images. I like these prayer plants with the ladybugs on them there. But we didn't get, so we see this. That looks beautiful. Look at that. That looks beautiful. Up on top there, the little mini island reminds me of like, what do you call it? Like, I'd love to know what this plant is here or this one here. Something other than aquatic, I would guess. Is this Logonandra meboldi bleeding heart or something like that? I mean, what is this? This is awesome. And then ladybugs. I mean, that is so cool. I don't know if you put aphids in there too, or if they're just eating the little water beetles or water fleas, but really cool. And I'm curious to know if the ladybugs just flew off or if they came back nightly. And then if there was a pump in here. I have so many questions, but really nice entry there. Let's see here. Ginger Graves. Oh, Ginger, you're always here. She's probably at work right now. I don't know. Has she been in the chat? Does anybody know if she's been in the chat? Oh, Wandering Jew, inch plant. Ah, yes, that's totally what that is. Yep. Good call. So this one, talk about most improved. No offense, Ginger. I know how it goes when you set it up, especially in the time we had. Look at, she did a nice lasagna substrate. Looks like aqua soil and maybe sand or diatomaceous earth or something, and then sand again. But she's got big old bushy plants over here, and the wood that's in this kind of arch shape, and then a coconut husk. Maybe, I can't tell if that's dragonstone or what that is exactly, but then look at what she turns this into in 4 months, or not less than 4 months. So, damn, Ginger Graves, beautiful tank. I mean, we got Anubias, like some Cophifolia in here. We've got Ludwigia repens, super red, inclinata. We've got, looks like Crispus, or maybe, oh, what do you call it? Not Valsent. What is it called? I need help, guys. The spirally stuff. I need help. I need help. But looks like she just got it to the surface. And so this would probably turn into an epic immersed tank in a few more, like a month or two more. Corkscrew, yeah, the corkscrew stuff. What's that stuff called? I mean, it could be corkscrew Val from like LRB, like his red metallic. But oh, Vesuvius was the other plant I was thinking of. But come to think of it, it does look like corkscrew Val rather than Vesuvius. But that stuff will grow like 5 feet long at points. So, but I mean, just to see the progress that she made in this tank, incredible. Plus, I'm sure there's going to be fish that live in there, and I'm sure they're going to be real happy. And with that substrate being so deep and everything, there's going to be life in there for a long time. Harrison Maxwell here with the bow front. No immersed growth. Harrison Maxwell with another one with a little bit of immersed something or other here. Interesting plant the way it's growing. But let's see here. Coolie loaches, Annabetta, hairgrass, sword. So didn't quite tick the boxes we needed for that. Now this one, talk about building. Marcy, the first part of your entry, send it to me or Alan again. We did have other stuff we looked at if it didn't go through. Who are you, Marcy, on there? Marcy SoCal? Who are I don't see like what your name would be. Let me know though. And we'll straighten it up. But if we have the end part, that's what matters generally for the way we rated stuff. But that's why we're doing this. So if you're watching tonight and something's off, we can adjust the ratings. Fonseca, the 3.7 right here. Are these, well, we got your final images. That's what we care about. We graded this based on this final image. You were definitely ranked and everything. We have your video too. So we saw that. And I just went over it and was talking about how great we thought it was. So I wouldn't be sad. But if you have beginning photos, that would be that you want to send through that we can include into this gallery for posterity. We definitely will. I definitely included the video and stuff though too. I don't know what got edited on your form though. All right, so moving on though to Hector. This was a smaller version of my first submission to the contest. I don't know if he means in years past or what, because this was Hector's only one. But look at this. So he built this. I don't know what this great stuff. I guess I don't know if he glued rocks together. I don't even know. But he built a waterfall in a 3-gallon bowl and then put a nice light on top of it. And then look at this thing. Plus, he's a great photographer. Look at that super red. Holy cow. Oh my goodness. And all these lush, the Ludwigia, and man, just expanding foam. That's right on. That's cool stuff to work with. And apparently the plants did not mind it one bit. Look at this. And then he had water trickling out through here. And then we've got, is it Hygropenetifada here? I'm not exactly sure. But lots of Ludwigia of different types here. I don't know what this is here, but I want to know that too. Just stunning stuff. Different types of moss too. I want to put together a document of underwater and above water for folks. So here's the super red underwater sea. And then we've got like a Rotala and Ludwigia assortment in here. And then above water, though, the super red looks like this. And the other stuff looks like this. The repens or, it's probably repens or inclinata. So, I mean, yeah, but look at this here. Underwater again, and then we'll get the final picture of it. I think that, yeah. So look at that. That just, the way this came out, even down to the single leaf. You don't have to be big or spend a ton of money to create something incredible. A few sprigs of boost. He's got a carpet in this bowl. Clearly, I mean, if it's a sphere, he's probably got 2 or 3 inches of soil or substrate. So, I mean, just wow, incredible. Hillbilly Aquatic, 55 gallons. Started with just an empty tank, really. Look at this. I always love how this happens. It looks like Rikia or something up there, fluitans. But then we got this. Looks like we were trying to grow stuff out. Looks like maybe, unless you're trying to grow snails for something, I'd cut back on the feeding a bit. And then also, it could just be that you didn't have enough light while these guys are reaching so much. But there's kind of a reflection here in the picture too. So that was a little tricky. But the crypts in here, I'm guessing undulatus or axolrodi, one of the two. And the fish look nice. So a big tank to try to manage. All right, it's me, Steven, 2003. Really, really beautiful tank with the final one. I mean, look at this. We've got beautiful immersion, lots of it, lots of species. The wood coming out works real well as a scaffolding. I'm curious if this is Myriaphyllum mattengrossi or something. Or what exactly this was here in the center of that picture. But, I mean, as a tank, look, Chili Rasboras, and he's got a video that is great. I don't think we're going to have time tonight to get to the videos. Maybe when we do the other commentary, we will. But he has a great video on his channel. So I encourage you guys to go to Steven's channel and check it out. Also, he's got Rotala, Ludwigia, moss, it looks like maybe. So, great tank, looks good. It feels pretty balanced with the way it draws your eye in the back corner, sloping up. But yeah, Steven, right here, this name, Steven P 2003. Go to his channel and watch the video. Great video explaining how he set it up. And he just filmed it well, and it's short. It's like 3.5 minutes or something. This one never got finished, I guess. Same with that one. Same with that one. This one had a plan and a sketch and everything. Now, Jeff had an interesting one. He had this tray style thing with like these plants in it, and you can see the rim here, which is interesting. So the rim on that, and then you have these big lights here, but he ended up changing it all around it. I love this. Look, he used a tray. Green Emersed Hygrophila coriambosa. Yeah, that's the big plant. That makes sure on the last one. But look at this. He set up a rice paddy. This is exactly what I've wanted to do for a long time. So he just decided to set up a rice paddy. And this is exactly where our bettas and gouramis and CPDs, things like that. I mean, so many fish that we know and love come from environments just like this, only 3 or 4 inches deep. So love that, love reading about that, and bamboo and the plants used and stuff. Let's see, does it say the actual plants? Rosy red minnows, small sponge filter, nano air pump, papyrus, very cool. Sheds a lot of pollen onto the surface. May need to add a bubble wand to push the pollen and dust off. So that's a nice note, but I mean, look at this papyrus. It just, what a great plant. I mean, especially for ponds, great to know. The entry closed, unfortunately, T-Bone. I've been making announcements about it in the community page, on our Facebook group, and in the live stream. So I've made about 6 announcements of when it was over, and we extended it a month. So unfortunately, we can't right now. I understand that some people don't, obviously, nobody sees all my videos, so except me, except maybe Bismarck, but we will do another contest, because this required doing an initial form of your plan and the state of your tank, and you know, it was a little more involved, maybe too involved. We might back off a little bit on the next one, but it involved a lot. So here we've got K-Day setup. So she had these initial setups of her little cube with her white cloud meteor minnows. Marcy says, I was most surprised by my Lobelia cardinalis turning purple indoors, immersed. It's so green, usually. Hey, oh, Biscotti. I don't know why I said Bismarck. Yes, I meant you, Biscotti. You always comment on every video you watch, and you've seen a lot of them. I think you have to be my number one watcher at the moment, or maybe ever. So thank you so much, buddy. But yeah, you might be up there. I know you play me at work or whatnot while you're working on stuff, but you always say, for the algorithm. And I can't tell you how much that means to me. It just tickles my heart. And then I get heart palpitations. All right. So then here with K-Day, we've got, she put ants in here. That's brave. I don't know if I would have kept the water really low, but there are some aquatic ants, and I wanted to know if they were the aquatic kind or what. And she's got shrimp in here, and she's got, you know, just a great little habitat for them in this space. Looks like she's got plants flowering right here too, little purple guys, Bacopa maybe, yeah, Bacopa. So that's pretty nice. We could have maybe a little more variety. Then we got Kenzao. Here we've got initial entry, big old paradise fish, Signanthus bellum, I think is what this stuff's called. Signanthios. I always get it wrong. Something like that. Signobellum is how it's always written. And then we've got this interesting moss chain, and then some Java fern at the beginning, and pretty slow to grow. The pump was problematic. Yeah, I mean, I get it. We get that people had issues, and we hope that people just had fun. We just really hope that fire ants do swim. They all hold on to each other like a raft. It's crazy. But yeah, it looks like this one never quite got to where it was immersed, and it's hard to grow immersed. It is, and there's tricks and tips and things. We got frog bit planted up top, and you know, some floating plants, but I just didn't quite get there. Look at this one. This one's pretty. Isn't that beautiful? So here we've got, I mean, just a nice piece of wood. You can see it's a good sized tank, really, too. These young German rams and gouramis, maybe a farawalla, can't tell for sure, and some barbs. Look at these ones, the nice barbs, and some tetras. Lots of good plants we've seen before, but I mean, just the take that everyone has on the same plants can be so different, and that's what I really love about seeing all these entries. Oh, it's a little pleco, maybe more than a farawalla. And yeah, the way this wraps around, this looks like mini kabamba. I'm curious what this was. But yeah, very nice. Looks like it had, did it have CO2? But in any case, where'd it go? Kim. Yeah. Oh, we had this one too. Oh wait, this one never got finished. Okay, bummer. All right, then we had this one never got finished either, and I love the inspiration. She got going pretty well, and then must have got busy or something. But the inspiration on that one is just great, really great. All right, set up jungle aquarium. Wish I could have seen that one fully too. Marty McFly. This one, I like all the tannins and everything. I don't see a single immersed plant. I don't know if I see a single plant that's alive. So we had to disqualify a few like that. This one, Mr. Gromby, incredible tank here. Algae just works. I mean, it looks like it grew in, but it looks like a carpet. I mean, it's great. I love that. Also, I'm curious what these little plants are. It looks like something that just got stunted by light a little bit. Mr. Gromby, if you're here, if Mr. Gromby is here, please step up. Please step up. So, yeah, and then the Ludwigia looks really good growing up. So Ludwigia, I don't know what it is. Lacustris, maybe? Not quite. I can't tell what it is. But looks very nice. Another tank, or this? Oh, this is the same tank. Wait, hold on. Now I'm confused. So many tanks that we looked at. It's hard to remember what's happening. You have to look at the gallery. Mr. Gromby, bring me a dream, bum 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 bum. Oh, so that's probably the before. Yeah, okay, there we go. They're just out of order. That's all. Yeah, very cool though. Initial plan, midpoint image. So here we have natural aquariums, some with overflow, gravel soil, immersed plants. So in here we got, looks like we got some guppies in here. We've already got a little start of something. And this is a nice little tank, nice little clip-on light. And by the end, I mean, boom, look at all that growth. All the hydrocotyle growing out of there and up over here. And then we've got some almost like a carpet of the plants in here. But look at this. I love the way this drapes down. I guess I should speed it up a little bit. I'm being pretty talkative, but we got, is this Crip axelrodi? I'm curious what this is. Eco Complete or Fluval stratum, some sort of, I mean ADA, some sort of soil like that, with a piece of wood in there, and then some sort of long grass. Don't know if that's Cypress Hellfry or Val or what that, it looks like Val more. And then the little teeny shrimpy wimpies. So it looks really nice though, especially for such a small tank. Having that back sump pump used that way is really great. Let's see here. So this one, Nick Hager, definitely some algae going on. It's odd. I mean, it almost looks like filter floss, Plants are beautiful. All the sword plants and stuff are really beautiful. The carpet of maybe Monte Carlo is looking good. Lots of fish in there. And again, there's several things in the carpet. This looks like a hemianthus and maybe some Monte Carlo and maybe something else. I don't know what else is in there. Let's see. Yeah, it could be some Monte Carlo. All right, let's see here. Yeah, Monte Carlo. So Wassertang, Java Moss. So maybe he didn't do any baby tears. I thought there were some normal baby tears in here, but just Monte Carlo. Got a great job with doing the Monte Carlo. Tank gets 50% water change a week. It's my first attempt using high pressured CO2. Well, for a first attempt, nice job. I mean, looking really pretty. Just going to want to maybe watch some videos on algae control and CO2. That's all I would suggest there. But nice work. Nice work. Otuli. I would love if there was more than one picture, like 3 pictures would have been fabulous. But this is a cool tank. I mean, look at this tank. We've got a beautiful, just that angle to it. Look how high the substrate is. It's crazy. And then it's all crypt. It's cryptomania. And then Hygropinnatifada, and then back over here, Anubius and Boos and Cardinal Lobelia maybe, and then some pennywort. Everybody got the pennywort. That's the $1 million ticket. That and hygrophilas and bacopas, they'll grow out of water immersed real quick. And Hygropinnatifada, real quick. But yeah, and he's got a video too. Pete. Now, Pete is a friend and someone I always follow on Instagram in particular. But Pete, do you have a YouTube too? I forget. I can't remember off the top of my head. I feel like you do. But Pete Berlinski, he's down in Perth, Australia. And he's worked his way up with this collection of these tanks. And it's been so cool to watch. But he started this one up just for this. And look at this beauty. So he started to get some immersed growth, and very, very nice. I mean, we've got some bacopa, we've got some hygro, maybe some cardinalis again, some pogostem and hellfry downaway. I don't know which grass this is, but then we've got maybe some, I can't tell if that's Senegalensis. It might be. Ludwigia super red. I mean, just incredible colors, though. And he's got his CO2, his aqua soil, and then crystal shrimp. So he's dosing all this with crystal shrimp. And we've got, there's not much structure for the immersion, I have to say, or hardscape work. But for a Dutch scape, it is really impressive. And the fact that he's keeping shrimp alive in here with CO2 and liquid fert regimens like that is just, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's almost a nursery / Dutch tank. Here's how he planted it, see? And it all just grew out. And that's how quickly it will grow with CO2 and a good light if you have that. And liquid ferts and good substrate. Only those 4 things. But really nice job. And a video is there also. We're coming to the home stretch, folks. I know this is a long episode tonight, but so here we have PMC paint, a 20-gallon. Look at this beautiful, beautiful biotope. Really nice. Flooded Indian plain kind of thing. Water sprite, crypts, hair grass. More floating plants up here of some sort. Just sticks, twigs, and leaves. Fish, I mean, tetras and things will love this. Up here is this wisteria or water sprite? Probably water sprite. I don't know. I'm not going to talk. I don't know for sure. And then something was going on up here with like a baffled sump system that I'm curious about if that was still in play at all up here. But then he's got a plant Just beautiful too. And then more immersed. This looks like Coriambosa maybe, or some sort of hygrophila. But just, I mean, looking great. And it looks like some of the crypts even may have breached, which that's a real tough one unless you drain down to them. It's hard to get them to come to the top. Easier to get them to come up. But super swampy, super great. And look, he's got the yellow dwarf catfish, the ones that I love from Myanmar and Thailand and Malaysia area, the newer discovery. Really cool. I love those. Look at all the mulm in here. Definitely a shrimp's paradise or snail. And looks like a gourami. I can't tell if it's some sort of chocolate gourami, but I mean, beautiful. Nevertheless, it looks like some sort of little chocolate type gourami. Or maybe Valentini or Valenti. Rachel Irene Games. I'd like to do an Amazonian river biotope because I'm really in love with pygmy cories. The setup. It's a nice looking tank with a lot of plants that are above water plants that the immersed ones could have become. You know what I mean? Like, or I mean, the underwater plants wouldn't grow into anything other than this. So it was an interesting one because it's more of a paludarium. So we don't know these plants as well, but curious nevertheless. And it looks just really nice and peaceful, that does. Randy Roman, I like this one too, just because Randy is a good friend. Rio Watanabe's Medaka porch fish, he said, encouraged him. And Rio actually entered this contest too. But look at this. I mean, just beautiful midpoint. And, you know, I mean, to work on a balcony, look, he's got plants and trees right up to him. And then look at this. The Bacopa is blooming a beautiful soft lavender or purple. We've got the hornwort here, so you could spawn your Medaka really easily. And then the lily pads. I mean, just awesome. Really cool. Great use of space for sure. And look at this. I mean, just maybe that's Creeping Jenny, actually. Is it Bacopa or Creeping Jenny? I can't tell. Let's see if he said. Moneywort, blue moneywort. Yeah, probably Creeping Jenny. It's not moneywort exactly. But look at this. Then he got it to flower. So beautiful. We got peach lilies. So spectacular. Great use of the space, of color, everything. I mean, for a 3-gallon pot or whatever you said this was, I guess it doesn't say, but with such minimal plants, it's still an ecosystem. Really cool, Randy. Then Randy also had an indoor setup. And here you can see that we've got the wood in there. And from this angle, this is actually drawn on the wall. It fooled me for a second. I love how this is up high, but it looks like it's on a chain and it can be raised or lowered however high he needs the light to be for these plants, which is really ingenious. And there's a trough here where he can grow the plants, which is great also. And here, I mean, I like this setup and I want to steal aspects of it. But another great Randy entry. Here's another shot here. A little bit of glare there, but I know how tough that can be. Just really great. Big old pieces of wood. There's probably nice tannins in there. Looks like I see a live berry. You may want to add some crushed coral for them. Looks like pretty soft water, but maybe, I don't know, maybe you live somewhere with hard water and they're fine. But yeah, I mean, really cool job here. I would just say also, maybe a little more submersed plants as far as these ones. Yes, their roots are in it, growing kind of like, what do you call it? Oh, fiddlesticks. Hydroponically, almost. Whereas the ones growing from the bottom all the way up, there's less of them. But I do still see some. So, and then final image, check this out. Look at this plant. This looks like one of those touch plants, or like the acacias that, like, when you touch them, they close. I don't know if it is, but I mean, what a killer grow out from that shelf above. I'd like to have seen it in the tank, but I know it's using the tank water, so I mean, I can't say much about that. It's just really cool. Really cool. Richard McCarthy, first tank in 15 years. So setup, he had this going on. Nice looking tank. Look at the lotus pod. Love the lotus pod. And then I like these flex tanks too. These plants, he's got a great habitat for shrimp or live bears, or little fry in here. Definitely also you can see the little tanniny producing material. He's got a little dwarf lily to start with. So I mean, it's already a cool aquarium. Oh, and he's got the same TDS meter that I do. Extra points for that. Extra 50 points for Gryffindor. All right, so then we're going to go to the end one. But yeah, I mean, look at the growth he managed to get. Nice job, Richard. I mean, look at this. Up and out, searching for nutrients. That's the little white stems are. But that happens when anything goes immersed usually. I don't know if this is water sprite or what. It might say I should probably read. But there's interesting. There's light on a side here rather than just above, it appears. Let me know if I got that right, if there's some on the side and some above. And then here we've got a mix of, it looks like maybe mermaid weed, or like, I can't tell what it is exactly. Or it could be water sprite or water wisteria. And then obviously we got the water lettuce, and so stuff cresting the top. And then he used a little circle to try to kind of keep things out. But yeah, I mean, awesome job, especially for the first attempt in 15 years. I mean, right on. I don't know if he did planted tanks before, but oh, so light. Yeah, he did light it from the side, which I think is brilliant and interesting. It might be why you got so many of these runner stems. Also, I would say if you used, I don't know if you used liquid fertilizer, you may have used a once daily kind if you did use one. But if you get the targeted kinds, you can prevent that from happening, because they're seeking one mineral, or they're seeking to be grounded. And some people like it, some people don't. But I mean, it's just a matter of choice, matter of opinion. It's just like your opinion, man. All right. Did I skip one on accident? But lots of good info in here. I mean, great write-up too. Just incredibly the pothos. Oh yeah. Yep, pothos. We did see that. It is technically allowed. Oh, okay. So Bucephalandra Kedagang is also on there too. But right on. That's what we saw the little bit of up there. But yeah, thank you so much for yeah, Scarlet Batis will hunt pest snails. Oh, water wisteria, that's what it was. Right on. Okay, so I guessed one of my two guesses was right. So then we've got another outdoor one by Robbie Noel. We're 76 out of 100, guys. But I don't think even, I think like a third of these, if that, actually have everything they need. But this looks really nice. Long stem Sagittaria, some moneywort, some Bacopa. I mean, it's a barrel. It's an outside tub. Lots of, I mean, flowering going on. So I would love to do something like this, especially in such a deep barrel. Like, what a tall order. What a crazy man. to try that. Least killifish, gambusia, and smaller reservoir, maybe a dwarf sunfish. I wonder what he ended up going with. Pickerel weed and red stem Sagittaria are the big ones. But yeah, I mean, make do with what is there and keep on going. Rosie Barb, we got accidental entry. Rio Watanabe. All right, so Rio went to the store, spent some money, which is all good, and look at how his turned out. So, I mean, just that stinker. I mean, what a pro. What a pro. I'm just taking it in. Yeah, so Rio Watanabe is another guy who has a channel. His channel is way bigger than mine now. So I used to talk to him a little bit more. If you're watching, Rio, thank you so much for participating, buddy. And I'm happy to collab or whatnot anytime that you'd like. I love your Medaka rice fish videos of your, is it your uncle and your grandfather that do it? And you, obviously, and your new, watched you build your fish room. Very cool stuff. But I mean, look at this. Just the center draws your eye right in. The ember tetras draw your eye. Complete contrast to the green. I mean, it's just boom. It just pulls you in. And then there's the dark in the background. So the bright green in the foreground pops. There's the coque stone, I'm guessing. I don't know what they call it there, but like a lava rock. I would assume they call it coque, but sometimes us Americans have silly thoughts of what they call things. But this looks like a narrow leaf trident Java fern. And then look at this. This is so crucial here, is that slope in the back. So really cool. Up above, the Emersed growth going on, the pothos and the floaters, the stick. Just really great. So here we don't have a start one. We'll skip that for the sake of time. Sam, do we have two of these? Okay, yeah. So Sam, setup point. And then midpoint. I mean, that's pretty crazy. I don't even know how to get that. What, it looks like a reef tank. Is it a reef tank? I'm confused. Hold on. So Wassertang, hydrocotyl tripartita, pearlweed. Wow. Here they are, right here. Hydrocotyl tripartita, bacopa, Wassertang, and moss right there. Got shrimp in there. Then look at this. This is great. I love this shelving. Cichlids would love it in here. All right, S, have a good one, buddy. So, yeah, just really nice. I like the use of different sizes of sand, too. Makes it look really natural. And he kept it humid. He kept the whole thing humid in the day. And then that way, for the picture, he could reveal it. But you actually lost some of the terracing. I don't know if it collapsed or we just can't see it or what's up. But, I mean, good job on getting some of the Emersed stuff up and out in the, right at the top here. When people got it right to the top, we know how hard it is to crest the top. And while we do try to give credit to those who did, we didn't try to dock anything from those who didn't if they got it right to the top, you know? Again, they used, look at this. I love the creativity here. Got an alder cone. It's a smaller tank. We got shrimp in here, blue dream shrimp, and we've also got, it looks like maybe some cobalt shrimp or something, and some snails, some Cardinalia lobelius, some moneywort of some sort, or Japanese moneywort, pennywort, whatever you want to call it. Looks like there's a lot of little snails. You might be close to overfeeding, or you might have gotten those freshwater snails that came in on all those moss balls. Be careful. Interesting. So yeah, and I like the rocks too. The rocks are of a big enough size that the roots will get through it. So yeah. Biscotti says I didn't turn out as well as I had hoped. I ran out of time to submit my final entry. I got a new reptile, so I was rushing. Oh, that's all good. I mean, we assumed that this was the final for what it was, you know. And those nice big long boosts. And we saw that nothing really got to the top other than floating plants and stuff. But still, nonetheless, I just like the moss ball use. That's what I did in my Siphodon tank. And it seems to kind of edge out the allergies for the other tanks, honestly. And look at that. You got a handle on things by the end there. And then you got some more, I don't know, is this Rotala Wallachia or Bangladesh or what it is, but it's real pretty. And yeah, I think you just did a nice job in general. It looks like you might have gotten rid of the big nice lily here. Got rid of the moss ball plan in the final. Yeah, the hair algae was a struggle. Yeah, spotlighting could have done wonders, but didn't have it as an option. I totally get it. We know how it goes. All right, Shannon. So in here we had, we'll go to the final, obviously, too. Look at that. Look at all these betas. I don't know, is that sorority? Really cool. And with minimal light. Betas don't want that much light. They don't really want that much light. So I think that's cool that it came out that way. I like the taper. I like the contrast of dark, light, the diagonal cut of that, the driftwood with the tannins, some ledges for them to hide under. They do like a little bit of like little hammocks and stuff. Like this looks like some Taiwanese Nymphea taiwanensis. And then I like this too. I don't know what this is, just a trellis of like some little building thing, but I like it. I don't know what is happening here, if they can go in there or what, or if it's just in the substrate. But it's just interesting. And then we've got the bamboo, and it looks like it was a slight struggle to get stuff up and out, growing up and out. But I'm also curious what this substrate is here. These the little circular beady ball things. But look at this, all this spots for the bettas to go under and hang out and stuff. Looks nice for them. I'm sure they're going to be happy in there. Way better than just a silly bowl. And look how much of this starts growing as time progressed. So I think you'll get more and more growth, and you'll get daughter plants coming in. It looks like Anubias, Monte Carlo, hairgrass, red flame sword, Java fern, clover fern, Ludwigia, banana plant, and Brazilian pennywort. Right on. Spirulina. That's pretty. Is that a flagfish? I forget. Hey, says he's inspired by the Nano pond of mine. Well, that's flattering. I'm blushing and batting my eyes like the little female skunk on Pepe Le Pew. So just raccoons disturbed his tank last year. He's going to add a cap of sand. Berkeley, based out of Berkeley. So cool nights, warm days, and aquarium plants I can't get to grow immersed. I'll leave the current few plants and livestock. 2 flagfish. Yep, flagfish, right on. CPDs, emerald dwarf rasboras, or rice fish. Look at this pond. Looks beautiful. This is a pond plant that we have here in Washington naturally too. Yeah, I'm live TP in fish tanks. Beautiful yard scaping anyways. Oh, well, thank you very much. God bless you too, TP in the fish tank fam. I appreciate it. I appreciate everyone. And I want to thank you guys too. For those of you who threw in for the crowd favorite, Alan said he will be posting in the comments a link for the crowd favorite. So you can go to this link and find the crowd favorite. And pick what the crowd favorite is, I should say, rather. All right, we're in our home stretch. This one looks good too, though. For a round tank with hardly any room, we got maybe 5 species in there and some floating plants. I like these little IKEA desk lights. I don't know if that's where you got it, but I mean, look at the narrow space she was working with. So that's a tricky one. All right, Susie Matthews had set up images, kind of this interesting tree thing with lots of moss. It looks like terrestrial moss almost. I'm curious if that's what that was. Let's see, does it say? No, but there's a video, so we could in theory watch that too. We're almost there, guys. We got 5 left. So thank you so much, guys, for everything. All you guys that have re-upped your memberships and not re-up, but who have decided to join as members, who were not already. I really, really appreciate. I really appreciate that, guys. And I know this is a long episode. It's going to be almost 2.5 hours when we're done here. But thank you so much, and thank you for being yourselves, for contributing to this awesome aquascaping contest we've done 4 times now. The last 2 years have been a really great one. I mean, last 3, but last 2 we've actually had good prizes. And tomorrow night we'll be announcing who's getting those great prizes and how many there are. As the last call for alcohol. If you want to donate, you can do so either to the PayPal link. There's a description, because they don't take 30% or 40% plus taxes. You can do that at Alexander J. Williamson at gmail.com, at PayPal or Venmo. There's links in the description. Or you can send a super chat, and any of the money from tonight from that will be going towards a crowd favorite tank, which you guys can then vote on tomorrow. And we might announce that not tomorrow, because we might want to give people more time. We'll see how many people participate. But yeah, and thank you so much for those of you who have contributed and those of you who are just watching and all that. Psychedelic Hippocampus, I didn't get it finished because I was moving and family issues. Yeah, well, we'll do another one. It's, these are, as someone just said, looks like they seem like a lot of work. They are a ton of work. Alan did a lot of tech stuff on this. And I mean, very impressive. This is why we did an initial form, though, this time, is because look how many people had an initial plan or did something. We had a couple of people try to get by stuff that wasn't theirs, just like general imagery. And that was a bit of a but we wanted to do this also so that if anybody else wanted to get involved, they could, like, still with the time being left. So look at this tank. I mean, I think this is the last tank. Here we got a bunch of pothos coming out and some toys and stuff. This is just, I mean, this is a crazy tank with knickknacks. I love houses like this where it's just like an exploration. Every inch of the house is going to be crazy. They put their heater mounted on the front glass. I've never seen that. Thinking outside the box, 100% there. Is this cat food and stuff down below too? No, it's like all sorts of experiments. Wow. I thinking outside the box. I like that. That was turtle. Is that turtle girl or is that just turtle? All right, so Texas rat snake, 75 gallon. I want you guys to look at this. Look at this substrate work. Man, that is some intense mimicry of riverbank and the substrate. I mean, it may look like just dirt, but that is friggin' epic. With the wood and then all these plants getting planted, they will start to take over. They will densen up, especially if you had CO2 and good flow in there and everything. Look at this crab. So cute. Look at him. But yeah, I mean, really cool setup there. And then there's a final video. Also, we've got unsophisticated, but it looks like we didn't get a final entry there. If there's any errors, like if you thought you entered or something and you got a video or whatever it may be, let me know. Because I had a feeling this might. All right, so we'll watch one video since he just had a video. It's so crazy. Also known as what, wisteria? Yeah. Texas fish, great video though. Thank you. I saw those. Are those daces? I love those daces. I've been trying to find those forever. Oh, they're just red shiners. Okay. Red shiners are great. They remind me of this dace we have up here that I can't think of the name of. Beautiful though. Yeah, all from the Brazos River drainage. Are you guys hearing the audio here? Sorry, I didn't check that. Maybe not. So, red side shiners, if you guys aren't hearing. And Freshwater crab also. Oh, no audio. Okay. Sorry, guys. Well, what? I'm a jackass. But he's been typing it. Water willow, water primrose were the Emersed. And then striped top minnow. Really cool. All from the Brazos River, Texas. I mean, this is a really impressive tank from the substrate right on up. This was a tank that will last. And, you know, that river probably isn't that planted either. So I know some people might be like, oh, well, where are all the plants? But that's probably very accurate reconstruction if you went down to that river. So very cool. It doesn't have a filter also. So it's as natural as can be. He's got all those fish without a filter. I mean, round of applause on that. Really cool. So I don't know why the final pictures didn't go through. It looks like he has some, but we didn't have them for some reason. But that is that. And here we are, guys. We made it to the end. Thank you so much for trooping on through. That is the entries for 2021. And Alan is going to work on a People's Choice link to put in the comments. So check back for that. And when you check back for that, it'll probably be like your average view was 30 seconds. So I'll probably throw the time that you guys hung out this whole time, cut it in half. That's fine, whatever. But thank you so much to those of you who donated. We had some great super chats, including Alan. Stop it, Alan. You've done too much. Ridgel is here. I'm glad you got done with school all right and got everything taken care of. People's Choice poll right here. Link is in the chat right now. And he will also put that into action otherwise. But there we go. Literally every tank. And you guys, great job. And I just hope you had fun and you learned something. And going forward, maybe you're not done. I hope you're not. I hope you're not done with these tanks and you keep learning and you keep having fun with them. And that's that. I mean, that's all we could hope for. So thank you, lurkers. Thank you, loudmouths. Thank you, mods. We'll be back tomorrow night with the winner of all three big awards and a couple other surprise things we may have lined up. So that is that's what we got going. So contact me if there's any issues, and we'll try to round those up before tomorrow night's stream at 7:30 p.m. Pacific. I know that's 10:30 p.m. Western. It will not be this long, obviously. And then we're also going to break down next week. We're going to go look through some of the tanks with the comments written by the other judges, because I don't want it to be all my opinion. I'm not some genius that opinion is more important than anyone else's. And so I want you guys all to check it out. But like I said, thank you guys. I think we gathered, I wrote it down. So we got 10, 5, 20, 10, 20, 5. So all right, so it looks like we'll have about $40 extra to give to the People's Choice winner. We'll probably round that up to 50 if we can. We'll see what we can do. We might even make it higher. So thank you, though, for the super chats donated. They'll go towards that fund. All right, guys. Have a wonderful evening. And if you do decide you want to put money towards a fund or a, best non-immersed, I don't know, if you want to save someone who had a cool tank but wasn't immersed, let me know overnight and we can straighten out the money, and you can deal with it or I can deal with it, however you'd like to do it. But we'll add the prize to the roster. We'll vote on it, and you can look through these same entries if you're trying to figure out who you would pick and you want input on it and everything. But thank you so much again for all of you guys, your time and effort. And I can't thank my fellow judges enough, especially Alan. Alan, thank you so much for your time and hard work and your money and your coding and all that stuff. Just top notch. Thank you so much. The Secret History Living in Your Aquarium Facebook group is pretty active, and it is the same name, Secret History Living in Your Aquarium. And there's a link to the Facebook group right there, because Mridgel is a super duper mod, better than all the rest. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I'm going to get out of here. We hit the 2.5 hour mark. We haven't done that in a while. So I hope you guys all have a wonderful evening. Take care of your plants. Take care of your fish, your tanks, your bacteria, the good bacteria. Don't take care of your bad bacteria. Screw that stuff. And you guys all, take it a day at a time. Take care of the people around you. But most of all, make sure you take care of yourself first, or you can't do those other things. I think if we all did that half the time, our world would be twice as good of a place to be. So thank you so much. Hey, Chevy Fish, welcome. And, thank you everyone again. If you're watching this in between times or whatever, my PayPal information's below. Leave a note of what award or reward you'd like the money to go towards if you do want to contribute something. But it'll be tomorrow night that we have the final winner awards announced, and we're pretty happy about all of this. So thank you again, and thank you to Aquatic Arts for the gift cards. I should have worn the shirt backwards. I put it on backwards. And for so many of you know shop there, check out their link below, and they have the weird stuff, the unusual stuff. And they've been real good keeping fish and things alive in shipping and making everything right and giving to charity. So I do appreciate the work that they've done in the hobby. They just expanded greatly, and that's something I'm looking forward to. And they buy from a handful of you guys who are my viewers. They buy from you guys and sell your fish, which I can't say about any other shop. Other than maybe Jason's. He sells Bentley's blue Moscows up at Redfish Bluefish on Woodby Island. But again, thank you. And for a bonus 15% off Aquatic Art stuff, there's a code in the description. Mridgel just posted it also. It may change after summer. I'm not sure. So that's coming up already, like yesterday. In any case, I got to go, guys. You got to go. That means you got to get out of here. Don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Take your Dr. Pepper, swerve and take chances. Don't hit anything. And have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much, guys. Take care.